Hello, my Musketeers. We are going to read the book African Animals today. Okay, this is our nonfiction reader. That means that this story is not just to entertain us. This story is also to teach us some things. What do you think we're going to learn about in this story, African Animals? Well, we're probably going to learn about some African animals, right? What animals do you know that are African animals? Think about it for a second. Think about maybe the Lion King. What kind of animals are in there? Okay, I'm going to open to the table of contents where we can read about what we're going to learn about over in our book. So we're going to, on page 1, we'll learn about elephants, honey badgers on page 2, lions on page 3, ostriches on page 4, zebras on page 5, leopards on page 6, honey guides on page 7. And page 8 is that glossary where we can learn about some words that we might not know in the book. All right? I want to teach you about the word at the top of these pages. Do you see how this word up here is bigger than the rest of the words? This is called a heading. Everyone say heading. Good. So on every page in here, we have a heading. And what that is it's kind of like, it's not the title of the whole book because the whole book's title is African Animals. But these headings are almost like titles for smaller pages or for just the pages. So the title of this page you could say is elephants. Okay, but it's not really the title, it's called the heading. The heading is elephants. We're going to learn about elephants on this page. The heading of this page is lions. Okay, since this page is all about lions. The heading of this page is zebras. We're going to learn all about zebras on this page. Here's the heading called honey guides, leopards. And this heading is called the glossary because this page is the glossary. All right, let's give it a read. Elephants first. The largest, oh, by the way, while we're reading, sorry, you're going to have to get out a paper. Why don't you get out this paper right now? Pause the video. This is called African Animals. I want you to have this paper out next to you. Okay, I'm going to switch these sides. I also want to tell you that while we're reading, you are listening for things that you didn't already know about these animals. Okay, so these are all the animals that we are going to read about in this book. And what I want you to do is listen carefully for things that you didn't know about these animals so that we can write them down. We're going to write down on every line something that we didn't know already about the animals. So for example, this is elephants. Think about what you already know about elephants. You probably already know that they're big animals. You probably already know that they have a trunk. You already know that they have big ears and tusks. Those aren't things that you didn't know before, right? You already knew those. That's called our background knowledge. So when we're writing down what we've learned about an elephant, we're not going to write down that we learned that they're big animals or that they have tusks or trunks. We already knew those things. This is a space for new learning, something we didn't already know. All right, let's read it. We're listening for things that we didn't already know. The largest of all land animals, elephants, live in groups called herds. I might have heard something that you didn't know. You already knew that they're large animals. Sorry, guys. You already knew that they were large animals, but you might not have known that they lived in large groups called herds. I'm going to underline that. I'm not going to write it down yet, but I did not know that. They live in groups called herds. I like to underline the things that I did not already know. Even though they are very large, they only eat plants, which makes them herbivores. Did you know that elephants only eat plants? I didn't know that. They only eat plants. Okay, animals that only eat plants are called herbivores. The mother elephant has an extreme amount of love for her calf. Mother and calf stay in almost constant contact. Mother elephant will protect her calf from predators and the sun by putting her baby underneath her. She also uses her trunk to give her calf a bath. I did not know that mother elephants had that much love for their calf. Sometimes, animals and people are different. People love their babies and they're going to do anything to protect them from getting hurt. Sometimes animals they work differently. Okay, they don't feel the same kind of love that we feel for our own babies or our own parents. So the mother elephant, though, does feel that kind of love. It says that the mother elephant has an extreme amount of love for her calf. Mother and calf stay in almost constant contact. That means that the baby elephant is almost always touching the mom. Mother elephant will protect her calf from predators and the sun by putting her baby underneath her. I didn't know that. I think I'll just underline the part that says, mother elephant has an extreme amount of love for her calf. Okay, so that's all under elephant. Now we need to write something that we didn't already know. So what I underlined was that they lived in groups called herds. They only eat plants. And mother elephant has extreme love for her calf. I think I'll write down the part about the extreme love. I'll say, Mom loves the calf. Or I'll write her calf. Mom loves her calf. I did not realize how extreme the love was that the mom feels for her calf. If you want to write one of the other things that I underlined, you're welcome to write that they live in groups called herds, or that they only eat plants. Okay? You don't have to write down the same thing that I did, as long as what you're writing down came from the reading. Okay, pause the page or pause this reading if you need to keep writing. I'm going to keep reading. Our next page is about honey badgers. Honey badgers. The honey badger looks a lot like a skunk. Oh, remember when I was reading the story and I thought it was a skunk at first? They do look a lot alike. The similarities don't end there either. The honey badger can release a stinky smell if he feels threatened or wants to mark his territory. Ooh, I did not know that honey badgers release a stinky smell. I'll underline, can release a stinky smell. Just like the skunk can release a stinky smell. Their long claws and extremely powerful teeth protect them from predators. I didn't know that they had powerful teeth either. I'll underline that, powerful teeth. Most animals stay away from honey badgers anyway, though, because they are known for being mean. Unlike many other African animals, honey badgers do not live in groups and prefer their solitary status. That means they like to be alone. I did not know that they like to be alone. I think I'll underline, do not live in groups. Okay? So I learned 3 things on this page. You might have learned a little more too. There's some things that I didn't underline in here. But I learned that they can release a stinky smell. I learned that they have powerful teeth. And that they do not live in groups. So underneath honey badgers, I can write down one of those things. Oh, is honey badgers over here? Oh yes, badger. I think I'll write down that they do not live in groups. You're welcome to write down anything from this page. I'm going to write down, do not live in groups. Okay. Pause if you need to write. I'm going to move on. Lions. Besides the tiger, lions are the largest cats. Lions live in groups called prides. Did you know that their groups is called a pride? I did not know that. Live in groups called prides. while the male lion gets a lot of attention for his size and long mane. The females are the hunters of the group. Oh, I did not know that either. Females or girls are the hunters. Cubs or baby lions rely on their mothers for everything. The male lions have an important job too. They protect the pride and make sure the cubs get enough to eat. Okay, I did not know what the male's job was either. The male means the boy. The boys protect the pride and make sure the cubs get enough to eat. I think what I'll write down for this one is that the females are the hunters. I did not know that the girl lions are the ones that hunted for food. Lion. Females are hunters. I'm not putting a period or an uppercase letter here because this isn't really a sentence. Females are hunters. It's just part of a sentence. I didn't write down the whole thing, so I'm not going to worry about uppercase letters and periods when I'm not writing whole sentences. Pause if you need to write. I'm going to ostriches. Ostriches. Hey, I know these big birds. The ostrich can hit a speed of about 43 miles an hour when he feels threatened. Ooh, I didn't know that they were so fast. That's really fast. If you're going 43 miles an hour, that's like as fast as your car goes when you're going down Beach Boulevard. Wow, that's fast. Ostrich can hit a speed, I'll just underline 43 miles an hour when he feels threatened. Okay. What's that word threatened mean? Let me go to my glossary. Threatened. To feel like one is under attack or someone is trying to harm someone. Oh, so when the ostrich feels like someone is trying to harm him or another animal maybe is trying to harm him, he feels threatened. Ostriches also have great eyesight. Something else I didn't know. They have great eyesight. Their height and eyesight combined allow them to keep a close lookout for predators. Ostriches live near grazers who stir up insects for dinner. The ostriches return the favor by alerting the zebras, wild beasts, and antelopes of lions who are approaching. Oh, that's interesting. So the ostrich lives near animals like the zebra because the zebra brings up insects for them to eat. And in turn, the ostrich alerts the zebras when there's lions nearby so they know when there's danger and they need to leave. That's interesting. Okay. So I underlined two things on this page. I underlined that they can run 43 miles an hour and that they have great eyesight. I think I'll write down the part about them having great eyesight. They have great eyes. I shortened it a little bit so it would fit on my line. They have great eyes. Okay, pause to write. I'm moving on to zebras. Only three more animals left. Zebras are grazers, which mean they spend most of their days eating grass and plants. They live in groups called herds, but sometimes thousands of zebras come together in search of food and water, and this is called a super herd. Wow, I didn't know that. I knew that they lived in herds, but I've never heard of a super herd before. Super herd. I'll underline that word. When faced with predators, zebras will help each other out and form a semicircle, preparing to attack the predator if they need to. I didn't know that either. So zebras will help each other out and form a semicircle, preparing to attack the predator. Their strong teeth and hooves are used in defending themselves against large cats and hyenas. What are hooves? Well, it's bolded, which means it's going to be in my glossary. Hooves, the feet of animals and horses, donkeys, or zebras. Oh, so hooves are their feet. So they have strong teeth and feet to defend themselves. All right, so I underlined that they sometimes join super herds, right, which is when they have thousands of zebras together. And that zebras will help each other out and form a semicircle, preparing to attack a predator. I think I'll write about the super herd, okay? So I'll write many zebras together. I'm going to have to write down here. I'm running out of room. If you want to write on the back of this paper, you can, or if you want to kind of squeeze your letters down here, you can too. Many zebras together are called a super herd. All right, sorry about the long sentence, but you can do it, okay? Pause my video and go ahead and write many zebras together are called a super herd. Okay. Leopards. Leopards are extremely fast cats. Oh, I did know that. I knew the leopards were fast. That are recognized by their black spots. I also knew they had black spots. Did you know that? Leopards prefer to be alone and spend much of their days lounging in trees. I didn't know that they like to be alone. I'll underline. Prefer to be alone. That means they like to be alone. They become active in the evenings when they begin to look for dinner. A leopard will creep up on its prey, and when it gets close, it will pounce on the victim's neck. Pounce. What's that word pounce mean? Let's look in my glossary. Pounce. Spring or swoop suddenly to catch prey. Ooh, so they'll spring up on their prey. Sometimes they will even carry their dinner up to a tree to make sure a scavenger, such as a hyena or vulture, won't try to steal their food. Wow, that sounds hard, to carry your dinner up a tree. I think I'll underline that. I did not know that. Sometimes they will even, I'll underline, carry their dinner up into a tree. Okay. And I think that's what I'll write down too. Carry their dinner up into a tree. That's what they do. Leopard, carry dinner into a tree. And they do this to keep their dinner safe from other animals who might eat their dinner. They carry dinner into a tree. Last animal is the honey guide. Here we go. Honey guides are not only known for leading mammals to beehives, but they also have an interesting way of hatching their young. Honey guides lay one egg in the nest of 5 or so different birds. I definitely didn't know that. They lay one egg into the nest of 5 or so different birds. When the honey guide chicks hatch, it will use its sharp beak to break open the other eggs and eat the insides. Oh no. The mother honey guide makes sure that her egg hatches first by incubating the egg inside her body before laying her egg. What does incubating the egg mean? Incubating, keeping the eggs warm so the animals on the inside develop. Oh, so she keeps her eggs warm inside of her before she lays the egg. That way her egg is laid first. Wow, I didn't know that either. Let me underline that. Make sure that her egg hatches first by incubating the egg inside her body before laying her egg. Interesting. It sounds like honey guides are not super nice birds, do you think? If their babies are going around eating all the other birds' eggs, that's not nice. All right, so the honey guide, I'll write, they lay eggs into other birds' nests. They lay eggs into other birds' nests. Okay, and that's the end of our story. You should finish writing this, and then we're going to move on to our drawing. Alrighty, we are going to draw today a lion. Here's the starting of our lion. Okay. I'm going to go probably not as slow as you need to draw. So if at any time you get behind, pause the video and then you can catch up to me and then you can keep listening. Okay? So first, here's the face. Okay? The first thing I'm going to do is draw the ears. I'm going to draw 2 ears up at the top near the head. Or at the top of the head. Kind of looks like a bear so far, right? It's going to keep looking like a bear for a minute. All right, next I'm going to draw a nose in the center of the face. So the nose kind of looks like an upside down triangle. But its sides, or its corners aren't really pointy. They're kind of